Chaos 963, doing it to you in 3D. So groovy that I dig me. Hope you digging on you. Yes, sir. Get my little things together here. And that's what I'm doing. 2 seconds. I'll be right here. All right, Chaos 963, doing it to you in 3D. So groovy that I dig me. Hope you're digging on you. Listen, we got a couple words I'm gonna drop in your ears. A little logic and love gonna drop in your hat. And I hope you like it and hope you come back. Got a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on in the world, in life, in the universe, on the planet. And we just gotta be about it, man. Gotta do what we do, make it happen as long as we can. For all we know, just give it hip. Trying to get this man anyway, I'm not gonna trip. I am tripping. Listen, got a good word for you, man. Listen, got some life for you. Some life, liberty, and some pursuit of happiness. You got a witness up in here. Chaos 963 got my information scrolling across the bottom. Get out of fella when you get out of fella. Definitely important that you do, because when you do, that makes it. Man, I can't get this. We're gonna make it right. We gonna make it right. We are. So I have to look at this here and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I'm just gonna assume that it is and keep it moving. But it's funny styling, that's for sure. It is funny styling. This is crazy, man. Okay, well, I can't let it do me like that. So, Chaos 963 doing it to you in 3D, so groovy that I dig me. I hope you're digging on you. As always, I'm coming to you live from the studio. 500,000 kilowatts of pure deep funk power, uncut, unadulterated, etc., etc., etc. Man, they are sending me through today. But you know what? I'm not mad. I know they're trying to stop this, because what I'm putting down is the real deal Holyfield. Y'all messing with some counterfeit stuff. If you don't believe it's counterfeit, look at the situation you're in. I see folk chasing waterfalls, as they say. Some girls was talking about, we ain't gonna chase no waterfalls here. We're gonna come right straight with it, baby. Chaos 963, I'm gonna create you for sure. Across the bottom there, scrolling up about the Cash App, Twitter, Facebook, instant messaging, and all the rest of the stuff that we do. We do it all. I'm finna do some more, man. I can't lose, so I'm just keep tweaking and turning it up, and keep fighting and keep going at it. We'll be here every day. I win. Nobody else. I win. Listen, man. A lot of y'all got some dead weight. Dead weight, and you know it's dead weight. You know it's dead weight. If you got somebody that's constantly telling you can't, you shouldn't, you wouldn't, you need to cut them loose, man. You need to get a double dose of distance from them cats. Tell them kick rocks, man, that you ain't with that foolishness. Because if you are, it's going to slow you down. And you know, I'm just amazed. Folks, particularly, you know, older cats my age, old school, and you still want to take on dead weight. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, go ahead. But I promise you, it ain't going to get no better. You keep doing what you've been doing and expecting a different outcome, that's insanity. That's one of the best things to come up out of AA right there. So you can't keep doing what you've been doing and expect something different. It's not going to change. Every night when I close this down, man, I go in, I recalibrate, I look at what's going on, I think it through, I read, I study, and then I set up and I come back the next day. And sometimes, man, I mean, it takes all I can do just to shake off the madness and come on back. But I do that and going to continue to do that because all I know is to win. That's all I know is to win. That's it, and that's all. And it's taking me, you know, taking something to embrace this mindset. And I'm telling you, man, when you start looking at it without the rose-tinted glasses, you'll see what's up. Man, there's people around you, man, that really don't care about a fella. There's people around you that ain't really rooting for you. They had a little old video I saw, right? It had this, it was like a gazelle or something like that, and the gazelle was just, you know, burning through the you know, plains and just taking off, and then it had this lion right behind him. He said, and the caption said, all those people following you ain't on your side or something like that. And it was letting you know that this cat following you, he does not wish you well. You know, he got some nefarious intents for your butt. Them some of the people you hanging with. Them some of the people you hang with. I'm talking about family members, family members, friends, folk you grew up with, don't wish you well. You know, I went to a reunion a while back. Then as I gained consciousness, that's an interesting way to put it, because it's levels of consciousness. And as I gained consciousness, I realized, man, the folks at the reunion, man, they wouldn't wish the cat no well. You know, they'd make little sly remarks, but see, I done always been that dude that, man, I'm not trying to hear your mouth too much, you know, and I just, you know, and it was a time I just throw the hands up and go, you know, man, ain't no need to talk about it. Ain't no need to talk about it. Because obviously you done decided something in your heart, and I done decided in my heart, so we know what's next. I was never one to talk a whole bunch. I'm going to try your chin. So, I'm at the thing, and I'm, you know, catching these little remarks and all, and I'm like, you know, this is, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, you know, and man, we ain't been in there in years, and I'm like, and you cats still, you know, talking all that old sly, slick. So, you know, like I said, I was really regurgitating some of that stuff back up, and I realized, man, they was trying to, you know, talk sideways, but they, you know, most folks, man, I didn't always let it be known I'm not the one. You know, the best thing you can do is you know, kick rocks, man, and then we don't have to worry about it. This environment was such where it was kind of closed, and it was, you know, for a few days, and, you know, we was doing the little kumbaya buzz, and I knew then, I'm like, man, this, you know, these cats ain't changed, man. See, because they just ain't, man, you know. They slide around on their belly and they slither and they lick their tongue out and they look, smell, and act like a snake. Come on, man. Unplug. 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 Unplug from your power drains. Because there's folks that don't mean you well. And I'm with that, man. You know, folk know I done been through that penitentiary experience, boy, and they teach a fella, man. If you can't stand alone, you sure can't stand with somebody. You better learn how to stand up on your own. That's one of our biggest problems, man. We want everybody to stand with us, you know. Come on, we get there and they all say, oh, we're gonna stand. I was tripping on this summer, man. I was like, this is really interesting, man. We got this George Floyd thing jumping off, and folks, they got all these standing up, and see all these Europeans, and I'm like, okay, but see, because here's the deal, man. The heat is on. They go right home, take off the BML, and go right on with their business as usual, man. If we can't stand on our own, man, for sure, man, ain't trying to stand with a bunch of folks that's and in the end we saw how that didn't really work, man. Folks was rioting and breaking and tearing up, and the Black Lives Matter people saying, well, oh, that ain't us, that's them cats. And they're like, yeah, well, they came out with you, homie. They said they representing you. If you can't stand by yourself, you sure can't stand with nobody. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I did a share the other day ago about, being able to stand by yourself if you have to, because you might have to. You might have to. And there's a lot of folks, they can't do it, man. They can't live with themselves. They can't stand by themselves. They don't particularly like themselves. Man, I like me. I say that, almost, every time I come on, Chaos 963, I'm digging on me. I likes me some me. But that's real talk. I do. And pretty much always have. I let a lot of folks try to, talk me out of liking me. I mean, one time, man, somebody real close to me said something real slick. I mean, an older adult that I had respect for, et cetera, et cetera. And, man, they said something, real grimy. And everybody laughed. I was a shorty, man. I probably was maybe 9, And everybody, was laughing. I'm like, man, that wasn't funny. And it wasn't meant to be funny. Cap was burning bread, casting shade like a big dog. And I'm like, wow, man, okay. So, I'm happy with all the stuff I had to go through to get me here. I tell folks, I've been to prison. I did 10 calendars at one point. And that was like, that's a grip of time, man, for real. But, and man, it showed me more about me than any other thing I've been through. A lot of y'all need to see you. A lot of y'all need to know who you are. You need to learn who you are. And into that, you need to love who you are. This the hand you was dealt, play it. And the bottom line is that it's a good hand. Man, I played a whole bunch of cards. And I'd take a hand and work it. I remember I was playing Big Wiss and my partners used to say, man, you be bidding kind of high on them hands. I mean, yeah, I got a skill set like that. And I'd go in there and get mine. I'd count them halves. I say, what's your bill? 3.5. I just say, I'm going to say 4. Because I'm coming. And I would get it. So, yeah, I like me. I hope you like you. You got to like you. I did the show the other day ago about having faith in you, trusting you. That stuff is paramount, man. That's where you got to get. That's where you got to be. In love with some you and trusting you. And an important part of that, man, is to get away from them negative power drains, man. Because they coming. Let me tell you, man, I was up there in them walls, man, and that's when I was bound up in Christianity. I had to say it like that. And so I would go to the little studies and whatnot, and I'd go in there, and I used to trip. Because what was interesting, they'd have these birds come in, and they've been saved a week and a half and got 2.5 verses under their belt and want to come in there and save us, And I used to like, man, why you dudes come in here, man? And it got to the point at the end, them cats would come in and have me lead. Go on and lead brother, because you got more than we got. But them cats would come in, man. I used to like, man, this is crazy, man. You know, because we up in here, you think you can just come in with anything, man, you know? And the cats are just desperate. We go, man, I used to chew them cats up and spit them out. And I told you at the end of the move, they was like, here, man, we come in just so they open the door. And brother, you go ahead and leave, man, because you done studied, and all we had time to do was study. That's all I did. I read that Bible backwards and forward for 10 years, man. That's all I did, just kept reading and studying. I was like, man. But the point I was getting to, they used to have these groups come in. They had this one group come in, this Catholic group, right? And we go in there, man, and this bird, I think, man, this dude, like, he was like the waiter at the Last Supper, right? Like, this cat was, he was like old, 1 foot in the grave, the other on a banana peel, old, you know. And he would come in, then they had this young bird that would come with him. And it'd be interesting because they would come in and they would sit down, and they had, like, you know, the Catholic got a book for every day, every minute, you know, and they would pull out their book, you know, and I used to think, I said, well, you know, when was that written? You know, this was written, you know, 10 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, well, man, how can you call that current, man? And it's, you know, and all the word is, you know, it's current. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, whatever, you know. So we would be in there, and sure enough, man, before too long, you know, we had set the little book down, and we was getting in some meat and potatoes. And they would sit back, man, and they would just nod their heads and all. And every time I left that little group, man, I felt like, man, like they put a straw in my soul and just sucked all the juice out. And I used to like, man, that, something about that, you know? So, you know, I got time. I told I did a little time, so I'm going to figure this all out. Well, I realized, man, they come in there, they wasn't trying to bring nothing, deliver nothing for real. All they coming to do is to put the jumper cables on us in reverse, man. And they would just be sucking the, I said, you know what, I'm not going over there no more, man. You know, anything you said, well, you know, you would bring different theological questions to them, and they would say, well, what do you think? You know, and then you'd give your whole, you know, dissertation or whatever, and they, well, yeah, okay, oh, yeah. I said, well, what do you think? What is, you know, your, well, every man's got it. I'm like, oh, man, go on, you know, but somebody, you know, got to be wrong, and this, that, and the other. And, man, they would just suck the juice and be gone and come back next week with a new straw, ready to continue to suck the juice. So I ended up cutting them cats loose. But it taught me, man, that there's a bunch of folk, man, you need to cut loose. Cause they're not doing nothing. They ain't gonna try to do nothing except put them reverse jumper cables on you and suck the juice out. You need to get away from there. And there's multi levels, man, that they come in on. You know, some of them might be the constant question answer. Well, what about? Well, you know, you be answering, and then you realize it don't make no difference how I answer or what I answer. I don't see you implementing nothing. You know, not a thing. I see it happening on a big level, man. Particularly with these divided states of America, man. They flat got it going on, man. They come at cats with the madness, and it's like we get sucked right up in there, man. Right up in there. And I'm seeing it happening now, man, with this pandemic thing, you know. And I'm just like, man, you know, y'all got to think for yourself. You know, as long as you're looking for somebody outside of you to save you, that ain't gonna never work. So consequently, they come in and they put them reverse jumper cables on the cat, and they go sucking all your little energy out, man. I see them throwing down with the scare tactics, and I see my people's, man, just totally drained, man, because they are so overwhelmed with fear, to where they can't even stand on their feet. They're like, man, if this, because I'm at the next, because it's winter and it's going to get 10 times worse in the winter when it comes, it's going to hit, and then it's going to, and then the age, two shots, and three, maybe one, but two for sure, and two maybe. I'm like, whoa, man, really? I don't see folks saying, hold on, time out, man. Let me get a book. Let me go online. Let me study a little something. I'm telling you, when you study yourself, you're gonna really be surprised. You're gonna be surprised what you come up with. You're gonna be surprised what the professionals are saying. Study yourself and see what you get. But consequently, man, for the most part, we don't. I did it in the share the other day ago. I talked about how we they say, you want to hide something from us, put it in a book. And I used to get so mad with that because I'm a reader, right? And, but the truth of the fact is, for the most part, my people don't read, man. And then, I was tripping because I bought me some books a little while back, a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. A couple of them was kind of expensive, I don't think they're expensive. You're paying for knowledge, You get what you pay for, so, you get $2 book, you're getting $2 worth of knowledge, right? So I'm buying these books, and I get a couple books, and they cost a coin or two, man, and it was a trip, man, because folks be like, oh man, $50, $60, $100 on a book, yeah. And even when I was up there in the penitentiary, man, I was notorious for buying books, man, because I realized, man, that's the victory, man, that's the win. I had to get this knowledge, and particularly because I fought my case and won. I told you I was looking at the 2 life sentences, man, the equivalent thereof, and I beat them, man. I was never really supposed to get out, but I said no, we not gonna have that. We going, you have to say that another way. So I had to buy books, man. I had to buy some legal books, because like you would have your books in the law library and whatnot, but a lot of them was old stuff anyway. So I buy law books, man, and then I was definitely getting after that spiritual tip. So I was buying spiritual books, and man, I liable to spend $50, $60 a month on books. Now, $50, $60 don't sound like much to a cat, out here and now. But in the joint, $50, $60 is a lot of money. A lot of money, because I didn't have no whole bunch of folk, I didn't have nobody helping me for real, Moms always love, she gonna send you some twos and fews, right? But I had to work and hustle, and I was hustling, man. And, once I got my little law trip going, I was helping folks get up out of there before me. So I had a couple, $2 or $3, and I would take that, man, and the cat would come by and say, man, yeah, we got you another book, man. I said, well, this is such and such, and this is a Black's Law Dictionary, Yeah, how much was that? It's $45. What? What? Yeah, I don't even remember what I paid for that. It was more than that, but it was a little pretty penny. And then I was getting theological books, concordances and thesauruses and lexicons and Greek and Hebrew translations and man, just all kind of stuff. And 2 or 3 different kind of, I had one Bible, I had 4, the parallel Bible. That was when they first come out, man, and that thing was costing, man. I'll drop on that. Then I got me a brand new Thompson chain. That had to be close to $100, And Cass was like, God dang, that's a lot of money. No, that's nothing, man. Because again, like I said, I was looking at life sentences and whatnot, but I wasn't having it. So when I start dropping that skrill, boy, things start changing. The spiritual thing was awesome because it was really, opening my eyes, and that's what really got me to looking like that don't make sense. And I started looking at the different religions and whatnot. I think, man, religion ain't finna do nothing for nobody. Religion is some man-made dogma, Now, the spirituality, that's a whole different tip, but religion, nay, nay. And then, like I said, I was dropping it for the legal books, and I was getting it, man. And probably the best thing I did, keep it in line with what the theme is on for tonight, is, man, the cast it wasn't about nothing. Man, you couldn't come up around me. I ain't had no conversation for you. And folks knew that. They were, nah, that's, they call me preacher, the lawyer man, or whatever, He ain't got no idle conversation. And I used to, when I first, fell up in there, even when I was on the streets, I knew a few cats like that. But when I fell up in the joint, I met a lot of dudes, man, that was just no nonsense, man. None. And you couldn't go up to them talking. You couldn't go to talk about football and some stuff, man. I'm not, what? Man, I'm looking at it all day up in here and got these, Europeans stepping on my neck, and you talking about some football? Man, you better get on away from me with that. And it was just cats like that. And then, I kind of tripped on them at first, but man, by the end of the lick, that was me, man. Look, man, if it ain't about, then I don't want to fool with it. I had cats on the streets like that, right? But they, I remember the code on the street, where if it don't make money, it don't make sense, So they was about that skrill, man, and you kind of respected that. But this was a whole different thing, man. But saying that to say, at least, I saw some people with that level of discipline, that level of discipline. Man, I'm not trying to go in there. I'm not trying to, do the Tyler Perry and don't get it wrong. Cats took downtime because you can't be 100 all the time. You got to kind of let the engine rest, and so cats have. But even when you get to that kind of level, even your downtime is different. Your downtime is it might still be reading, but just something a little more leisure reading as opposed to some sort of textbook or whatnot. But it helps you to understand the seriousness of it, and so consequently, cats came unplugged. You couldn't just go and talk foolishness, man, because they're not homies. He's not with that, man. So my whole thing on the night, man, is telling the cat, unplug. I'm pour some libations, man. Give a couple more minutes on here, but that's what it's about, man. Definitely need to unplug, because there's some folks that do not have your best interest in mind. They do not have your best interest in mind, and they don't mind being a stumbling block for you. And some of them they might not even understand it, but on some level they are in some way cognizant of the fact that that they're causing you to stumble, and they don't mind that. There's people in your life like that. You need to shake them, man. You need to shake them. You need to shake them. There's a saying, and I'm sorry I don't have it down, but it says you're known by your 5 closest friends or something to that effect. You're known by your 5. Who's your 5 closest friends, man? What that look like? Look at your 5 closest friends, and then tell me how you see yourself. Get a true picture of yourself, man. And then, if necessary, had a nuts, man, to say, you know what? I'm gonna have to cut you loose, man. And I done cut a whole bunch of folks loose, and finna cut some more loose, because I'm on a mission, man. I'm trying to get it, and that takes something. You know, I was watching documentary on Motown, man. Oh man, if you get a chance, you need to peep that, man. You tell you, Motown wasn't no accident. That just didn't oops. Man, them cats, Barry Gordy, man, I had to give dude props, man. Dude was a thinker, you know, and he surrounded himself with folk like him. You know, there wasn't no riffraff come up in there. And in the documentary, many times, you know, you hear him or his understudies telling cats, nah, I don't think you quite got, come back in a week. Come back next year. Come back. But right now, you got to go. If a cat wasn't there, you just ain't there, man. You know? And you got to be able to say that. And I see us, man, as people. We're compassionate people. So, you know, you try to let cats hang around, man, you better tell dude, man, come on. Especially now, man, it's too sad. And I see us, man, embracing foolishness, man. Foolishness. You know, so we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings and all that. Man, feelings, man. This, you know, this is its own, man. To say this is warfare is to speak lightly. They are still practicing genocide on our people, man. You know, and I see folks getting all on TV. You know, I the shot I took, I inoculated, and all. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, okay, know how that work out for you. Cause I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing changed. I'm talking about, you know, you turn to this channel and they talking about, yeah, we're gonna do all we can to get this into the black community. And then you turn to this channel and they talking about, yeah, well, you know, they had to take her and throw her down on the ground and bust her head. I'm like, whoa, man. I'm like, hold on. That don't work, man. That dog don't hunt. You can't tell me over here that you care all about me and that you're trying to do all you can, you know, to kumbaya, love and peace. And then over here, man, you slamming especially my young people, the 9-year-old, you know, sprayed her all up in the face. But you talking, man, y'all, come on, man. Study up on that, man. You know, do what you do. You know, I'm far be it from me to tell a grown folk what to do, you know, and then grown folks' kids, them's your cheering. So you know. But I'm telling you, at least be studied. You know, approach the stuff from a position of knowledge, man. Just run all up in there and just, you know, cause what? Cause one day, well, I want to let them know that I'm part of the team still, man. I'm not part of your team, and don't really give a hoot about you, man. Cause I seen what you know. It's different now. Really? Okay. All right. If you say so, come on, man. I used to watch that Charlie Brown, man. Charlie Brown, old girl would hold the ball. She, come on, Charlie, kick the ball. Like, nah, every time I go to kick that ball, you move that ball and I flip in there and land on my head. Nah, Charlie, not this time. I ran on everything I love, man. I'm not gonna move the ball, man. Come on, kick the ball. And then she be holding it, and Charlie come running down there, and sure enough, she snatched the ball out. Charlie go up and land on his head. I'm not finna land on my head no more, man. I'm not finna land on my head no more, man. And I don't want to see nobody close to me land on their head. But I mean, I can't, you know, take a cat to water, can't make him drink, right? But folks, y'all need to read, and I mean, there's plenty of stuff to read. You know, I'm gonna just drop this nugget on you, man, and I'm gonna move on, because I don't know what they're doing with my little stuff. My little stuff don't even be getting blue, but they can't stop it. So do all you can now, because you cannot stop me. But they got the one group, right, and they making vaccines, and, you know. Well, how many vaccines have you made before? None. Wow. Okay. Well, this is a new kind. This is the mRNA, man. So, you know, that's new. You've done some tests? Nope. No. But you got to prove the, yep. Okay, well, all right. That's their business. I try to stay out their business. But there's times, I got to kind of speak up for it and say, hey, man, y'all might want to think that through. Because, man, that, just think it through. And I mean, again, you grown folk, man, so, do what you do. But you might want to rethink some of that, man. I'm saying that, there's a story, man, that the cat, was outside and it was snowing and cold like it is here now, and the snake had froze. It got the snake and took it in and thawed him out, and worked him back to health, and was feeding him, giving him snake sandwiches and snake coffee and whatever snakes eat, and taking care of him. The snake come all the way back to health, and then one day went in there, he went to pet the snake, and the snake bit him. And you know the story. So, man, why you bite me, man? I done loved you and fed you, gave you snake sandwiches and snake soda pops and snake potato chips, And you bit me. And the snake said, man, you knew I was a snake. When you brought me in, man. I saw everybody tripping out, man, and oh yeah, Biden. I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm not all that, politics. I done really got more astute on politics of late. But dude's record, is kind of raggedy, man. I mean, if you put his record up against Trump, you'd be like, okay. But okay, I mean, Then I was listening to this dude, they had this cat out of Chicago. He got this radio program, right? An old boy out of Chicago, he's talking to a couple of cats. He's got this lawyer dude that wrote this book, and the book is about, inside what the how did he word that joint? But anyway, he was saying what the black elite think, inside the black elite. And man, this dude was saying some stuff. I'm like, that's crazy. But I ain't black elite, so I'm not knowing. But he's sharing, man. He's the WikiLeaks of the black elite. He dropping it. I'm like, oh. This dude said at one point, he said, vote blue no matter who. Vote blue no matter who. I'm like, you have got to be kidding. Then he went on, man, this dude said some stuff that was frightening. This cat was a chocolate-covered white supremacist like I had never seen. He was more a white supremacist than a white supremacist. Get that? I mean that. I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. He was more of a white supremacist than a white supremacist. I thought, wow, man, this bird here, man. And I'm watching it by myself, and I'm looking around like anybody else hearing this cat, And of course, the little radio station dude, he's tripping, and the other dude that he was talking with was tripping, and I'm like, wow, man. Unplug, man. You need to unplug. There's some folks you need to unplug from. You need to back up 2 steps and get a serious look at what's going on around you and make a decision, But I'm saying, just for a second, take a step back and regroup, You know how you be playing chess or whatnot, and you get a couple, 2 or 3 moves that go real fast, and then you have to stop, like, wait a minute, Because the board has changed. The board has changed. It's different now. You done made one move, the board has changed. Two moves is really changed. Three moves or four moves, you're talking about a whole different game now. And you folks ain't backing up and looking at this, man. There's some folks you need to unplug from, you know? And I just, fortunate because, the old penitentiary teach you that, man. You learn quick on, man, I'm finna give you some distance power because you got some poisonous ways. I'm gonna pour some libation. I'm gonna get on out your hat. I done learned, man. I'm really feeling through all this and how to do this, that, and the other, the third, and whatnot. And so I poured a little bit before, a little after, a little during. I'm just, getting the feel of it. So I'm gonna do this now. But Julia, I say, Freddie, I say, Dwayne, I say, Wayne, I say, Dallas, I say, Demetri, I say, Diana, I say, Edward, I say, Deddy, I say, Ava, I say, Janice, I say, Olivia, I say, our ancestors known and unknown, I say, Beleth, I say, Paimon, I say, Sin, I say, Hercules, I say, Muhammad Ali, I say, Malcolm X, I say, Balaam, I say, Zagon, I say, Paimon, I say, Benay, I say, Papa Legba, I say, Horse, I say, Bilal, I say, Person, I say, Asmodee, I say, Zerbanda, I say, Moredro, I say, Lopetro, I say, Cristo Negro, I say, Cristo Reyes, I say, Oshun, I say, Israel, I say, Shango, I say, Chango, I say, Oya, I say, Obetala, I say, Ogun, I say, Panic, I say, Pan, I say, all spirits known and unknown, all the ancestors known and unknown, I say, all your people known and unknown, I say. That's what it's about on today. If you really look at some of the folk that you might be tied into right now, it might be time to unplug. Things have changed. You move on, grown apart, grown in different directions and whatnot. So think about it. And if that be the case, man, I like when the old boy in the word talk about, man, I just shook the dust off me and kick rocks. That's what some of y'all need to be doing. Some of y'all, the people you thinking, your friends and whatnot, that don't give a hoot, nah, about you. So then, Chaos 963 doing it to you in 3D. So groovy that I dig me. Hoping that you still digging on you. As I always important. I'm saying that I'm gonna plant you now and dig you later. And don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And if you do, name it after me. I'm out, baby. Ooh,